before I do start, first of all, thank you. It's an honor to be asked to be a part of this program. I'm going to be talking about integrating HeartMath, and I'll explain what that is, into NLP for what I like to say for a more profound transformation and coherence. And I'll explain what that means also. But before we start, I'd like to offer you the opportunity to perhaps bring your chin to your chest, close your eyes, your hand to your heart if that resonates with you, and focus your attention in the area of your heart. Start to breathe into your heart area, making your inhale and your exhale a little slower and a little deeper than usual. You want to find a rhythm that's comfortable, a rhythm that's comfortable for you. And while you're focusing your attention in the area of your heart, you want to activate some heart qualities and values. And they could be compassion, care, understanding, gratitude. It could be a state of curiosity and an attitude of deep listening. And you want to activate and feel that through your body. And after you've brought that into your body, because we can only give away what we first own, you then want to radiate it to everyone that's here on Zoom today, this evening, wherever you are. And then we want to radiate it to our loved ones, our family, our friends. And we want to radiate it to every living person, every living creature, and we do that on the planet, the whole entire planet. And we do that for universal healing. And as you hold that into your heart, you can keep it with you for the rest of our time here today, the rest of your time throughout this IFNLP platform that you are listening to, and just keep it with you. And it raises the vibration. So, who here has ever used NLP on yourself? You know how to use all the techniques yourself, and you can use them on yourself, and you still ended up emotionally wrecked over something? Who's ever had that happen? We've all been there. You can receive a text from your ex or from somebody that annoys you. They could be that annoying person, and it triggers you. And your nervous system is not buying it if your heart and your mind are not in sync. They're not coherent. And that's where HeartMath comes into play with NLP. And we can use this metaphor here where you could imagine your mind as a GPS and your emotion as the car's engine. What happens is NLP reprograms the GPS and sets a new route for us to follow. Like, I want to get from here where I am to see all of you and to be with you wherever you are. But what if the engine, which is our emotions and our physiology, is misfiring? Even with the best route that is set, the best route on our GPS, the car won't move smoothly. So adding HeartMath is like fine-tuning the engine so that when NLP sets the course, your entire system is aligned and it moves without resistance. You're not coming up with any resistance against where it is you're going. So NLP, kind of what Simon led us off with just now, NLP engages our thoughts, our language, and our behavior. And true transformation actually requires the emotional regulation. And how do we work with those emotions? So the first little technique, I'm just going to teach you one of these today because we only have the 20 minutes together, is what HeartMath refers to as the quick coherence technique. And this is a tool that can be used on the go. They also refer to it as a shift. I'm here and I'm heading in this direction, and I want to shift and head in this direction. It's a tool that I use with myself. I've got plenty of stories around that, and I teach that to my clients so they can also learn how to shift and reset in the moment to get from where they are, they're heading here, to exactly where they want to go. So there's 2 steps which make it nice and simple. I like quick and easy and simple for me. So Simon said he's 59, going to be 60. I'm going to be 70 in a couple of months. So I like to have small steps to get to the result that I want. So the 2 steps are heart focused breathing, which is what we did, focusing your attention in the area of your heart, and then activating a positive or regenerative feeling into your body. So this is step 1, which is exactly what the slide says, and I took you through that, where you focus your attention in the area of your heart, and you're imagining, because we can all imagine, that your breath is flowing in and out of your heart or your chest area, and you're breathing a little slower and deeper than usual. And you can find an easy rhythm that's comfortable. And I'd like to say this here: why the heart? Why the heart, Deb? Why do we need to focus our attention there? So the heart is not just a pump. It is a pump that pumps blood throughout our body, but you want to think of it more than just an organ that does that job. The heart has its own complex nervous system called the heart brain, as it says on the slide. So research has shown that the heart sends more signals, and this is really fascinating to me. The heart sends more signals to the brain, to our mind, than the other way around. And what that means is that our heart plays a significant role in shaping how we perceive and react to situations, where Jen said what happens through all those NLP filters and how we end up getting our outcome and our result. And we're also going to be talking about perception as projection. So when the heart signals are coherent, and that means they're balanced and they're rhythmic, they go in a beautiful rhythm of up and down smoothly, they help the brain function more optimally. And that improves how we handle our emotions, we think clearly, and it helps in making better decisions to what? Get better results and better outcomes. So heart-focused breathing can also be a standalone technique, so you could just do that simple little heart-focused breathing by itself. And it helps neutralize our depleting attitudes and our depleting emotions. And then there's an important step to help shift the emotion. And this is what the second step is. And I will happily forward these slides to you if anybody wants them. I can send them to Simon. As you continue the heart-focused breathing, you can make a sincere attempt to experience or re-experience a regenerative feeling, such as appreciation or care for someone or something in your life. And you can offer a suggestion either to yourself, of course, because you can do all this to yourself, just like the NLP tools and techniques. And you can also offer that they could try to re-experience the feeling that they have for someone that they love, a pet, a special place, or an accomplishment, or they can simply focus on calm and ease. So it's more than just a mental exercise with just, doing some of the techniques where it's like, I've got to get this process down right. It's thinking about or visualizing something that you appreciate and that you care about, and then experiencing or re-experiencing the feeling of that appreciation or care with that renewing or any other renewing emotion that you want to bring in. You can have images in your mind of a person or a lovely sunset and try to re-experience the feeling that accompanies the images or the thoughts. Okay, and you can also do the suggestion, as I said. So I'd like to just for a moment just practice how quick this quick coherence technique is with you. That can be done on the go, in the moment, and you can also teach your clients how to do this on the moment. So I'll just lead you through each step, and I want you to notice how different you feel after you've done it. So again, you can choose to close your eyes or not. Eyes do not have to be closed. You can also bring your hand to your heart, which I like to do, and your chin to your chest. And focus your attention in the area of your heart. Making your inhale and your exhale a little slower and a little deeper than usual. So you're finding a rhythm that's comfortable for you. And as you continue the heart-focused breathing, I want you to make a sincere attempt to activate a regenerative feeling, whatever that is for you. It could be appreciation or care, calm or ease, whatever it is you want to bring into your heart. It could be a pet, it could be a special person, or an accomplishment that you've had in your life. And just notice what it is you feel as you bring in that regenerative feeling, and hold it into your heart. You may open your eyes if you have them closed, again holding on to that regenerative feeling. And now what I want to do, I'm going to show you a 1-minute movie. And I want you to pay close attention to the movie and notice what it says at the end of the movie. So I'm sure you all caught the ending where it said, we see the world through how we feel. And what's interesting in that 60-second clip is that the movie was the same for both 30 seconds of the movie. It was the soundtrack, the music that was going on in our mind that made all the difference to how we see the world. Because we are emotional people, as Jen said, and then it was brought up that maybe everybody in this field is emotional, but we're all emotional beings. So without emotional regulation, NLP techniques can sometimes feel mechanical, right? And changes may not always be fully embodied. So HeartMath provides tools for the heart and the brain coherence. And that enhances the emotional stability, the resilience, and overall our physiological balance. So when we're able to combine the NLP with HeartMath, it bridges the gap between logic and emotion. And that makes the transformation deeper and more sustainable. So understanding HeartMath and its role in NLP, the first question that we'll ask is, what is HeartMath? Right? HeartMath is actually the name of the institution that put all these tools and techniques together from the heart to the brain to put us in that state of coherence. And it's backed scientifically, which I love and a lot of my clients love and a lot of my students love. And it stays focused on heart intelligence and emotional regulation. It teaches tools that create the physiological alignment between the heart and the brain and our nervous system. So they all work together. And then what is coherence? Coherence is an optimal state where the heart, the brain, and the emotions are in sync. They're working together. They're not fighting against each other. And it leads to harmonious order and stability. And I love this slide. When we're coherent and the heart and the brain are working together, our decisions, our thoughts, and our emotions, as well as our entire nervous system, become more balanced and more effective. We get better results. So why NLP alone is not enough, I feel it's not enough. I feel we can add some of these beautiful spiritual practices by connecting to the heart, is NLP rewires our mental patterns, as we know, and it doesn't always, it can, doesn't mean it doesn't always regulate the emotional responses in real time. Clients may intellectually understand their triggers, right? Just as I said, if an ex or somebody annoying texts you and go, right, like this, they can still react emotionally because the entire nervous system, the autonomic nervous system, is not coherent. It's still incoherent. So by integrating HeartMath, we can help ourselves and we can help our clients and our students regulate our emotions on the spot, to be able to shift and reset, and reinforcing NLP's impact. So applying NLP, HeartMath to NLP coaching, if a client struggles, let's just use this, with deep-rooted anxiety about public speaking, NLP can identify the limiting belief, perhaps if I'm not good enough to speak in front of others. They could do the comparison, comparing themselves to others who might be better. And without HeartMath, NLP techniques like submodality shifts, timeline therapy for belief change, anxiety, and anchoring, it can help the client reframe, right? I am capable and prepared. However, what can happen is, and this is not with everybody, but this is how these tools can help enhance the NLP. They can step in front of the audience and they still might get those sweaty palms. They still might get a little bit of churning in their stomach. And they could still feel that little bit of anxiety with their shallow breathing. So the mind has logically said it's changed, but the nervous system may not have. And with HeartMath, I'm going to show you this great classic slide from HeartMath. Before reframing somebody, we can guide them through heart-focused breathing first, which creates the coherent signals. And what that does, imagine the incoherent signals going directly up to the thalamus, which goes to the frontal lobe, which is where we ultimately get that decision making. We act out from the communication model that Jen said, our behaviors, and we get our result. But if we are sending a signal from the heart to the thalamus to the frontal lobe, which all happens in a split second, and it is a coherent signal, that emotional signal, maybe compassion or care, goes up here, and we're therefore able to make a decision from a coherent state and not make decisions that we ultimately regret. So while in this balanced state, we can apply the NLP techniques. And that ensures that the new belief sticks at the physiological level, as well as for the mind. The client now thinks differently and feels differently in real world situations. They're now seeing the world through those filters. I feel like Jen was set up to speak before me. That's how it all ties in, right? The filters now are being seen differently because they're seeing the world through how they're feeling from a coherent state. I hope that makes sense. So steps to integrate HeartMath into NLP. You can teach the quick coherence technique before you're even doing a session with your client. When clients come to my office, which is here, I also have one in Tennessee, or I'm working on Zoom, or anything I start with a coherence technique to get people into that state with their heart. You can have them do the heart-focused breathing and then make a sincere attempt to experience or activate a regenerative feeling, whatever it is they want to bring into their heart, that will then send that signal, as I showed on that slide, up to the frontal lobe, which is where we make our decisions. So to use HeartMath during perhaps NLP reframing, while using submodalities or timeline, you can integrate heart-focused breathing to enhance the emotional regulation. You can also validate the transformation with a biofeedback device that they also use, which those of my clients who are visual love to see with the technology. And when I do workshops and retreats, they can actually see their heart go into those coherent rhythms live and in the moment. They can see the change when they're coherent, what is actually happening to their emotional stability. And then you can anchor the NLP changes with the HeartMath techniques on how they're feeling. And when anchoring the new beliefs, you can ask the client to always activate a coherent emotional state first, so that they are coherent and the brain is getting those waves so that they are in a better emotional state. So what if, imagine this, what if every NLP session began with, or any training, any conversation began with emotional coherence, leading to faster, deeper, more prolonged breakthroughs? What if clients could self-regulate in real time, as well as ourselves? I certainly know that I can use it as well, making the NLP changes that work more sustainable. And what if you, as a coach, as a trainer, also were able to stay in coherence, enhancing your ability to hold space and facilitate transformation with those that you're working with those that you are teaching? So I want you to just take a moment here before we close up and think of a time, just as I started off with, when you knew something logically and you still reacted emotionally. I certainly know I've experienced many of those. What would have changed if you had been able to make sure you were in a coherent state first? What would have changed? So you want to do the heart focus breathing before anyone that you're working with, anyone that you're teaching with, and observe the difference in the reception that is transpiring between you or you and the group, and the transformation that actually happens. So you want to be doing the heart focus breathing and integrate HeartMath, and they're simple. We're breathing anyway, so why not breathe to put yourself in a coherent state instead of the erratic breathing where we're all over the place? So learning the HeartMath techniques and incorporating them into your coaching practice and trainings is very useful. Try a daily coherence practice. I have one where I do it 3 times a day, 10, 2, and 6. I set my alarms on my phone to go off, and you can just observe the impact on decision making, stress levels, and your client interactions. Because we are humans that are going to have those interactions that will trigger us with something. So if we're able to be in a coherent state, it is going to send that different signal where we're going to have a different response and a different outcome. So you can master every NLP technique that there is. And if the heart and the nervous system are not working together, they're not in sync, transformation may not stick. So instead of just reframing thoughts, you can feel the shift, the emotional shift in your body. Your emotions, resilience, and decisions, they start working with you, not against you, like this. And that's the power of true alignment. So the next time your ex or somebody texts you and you get that little, you'll know exactly what to do.